Kid. I would like now to share with you a short video which comes from a gentleman called Duncan Wakes-Miller, who is from Australia. I met Duncan last year. I will let him tell his story. Let me just get this sorted out. I'm not as fast as Rob at fingerwork. I hope you're all seeing that. I will play it now at less than 4 minutes.
My name is Duncan Wakes-Miller. My son Barney was killed by a drunk driver. The police woke us in the middle of the night and said that our son was deceased. Road trauma is profoundly catastrophic. It's heart-wrenching. It's every parent's worst nightmare. And that's what happened to my family. The kids were next to me when the police walked into our kitchen. Everyone was woken up in the middle of the night. It was awful. The police treated it like an accident. They didn't even breathalyze the offender at the scene. It was only later that we discovered that his blood alcohol reading was off the scale. People treat road trauma like a traffic infringement, and we have to change the game. We endured 18 months of a court process where the whole judiciary let us down. They treated it like an infringement. They didn't even treat it like a lesser form of homicide. It was just a traffic infringement. My son was dead. The driver, who actually offended about 5 different ways that night, he didn't render assistance when my son was injured by the side of the road and died there. We've got to change the game. And changing the game is not just about language, changing it from accident. An accident is spilt milk at the table. A killing on the road when someone drives under the influence of drugs or alcohol or at high speed is a deliberate criminal act. And all the evidence points towards we can do lots of things with safe cars, we can change the rules, we can change regulations, we can have safety limits, and we can put this, that, and the other together. But all of those things are peripheral, really. We have to change the game. We have to change our thinking, not just about buffing around the edges, but changing the game and treating road crime in the same way that we treat domestic violence or knife crime or gun crime. A few years ago in Australia, we had a mass shooting. 35 people were killed. Within 6 months, the government had a national firearms agreement, and we changed the game, and Australia is now leading in the world in terms of gun laws, and we've had nothing like that since. Yet, every month, more than 35 people die on the roads, just in my state, in New South Wales, in Australia alone. And yet the government's doing nothing. I think it's the same in other countries. So we've got to change the game. And changing the game is treating road crime as a social anathema. This total safety piece needs to start with a mindset change. And the mindset is that it's unacceptable to get into a weapon and drive it criminally, dangerously, endangering other people. We've got to change that. We can put all these other things together, but we've got to change that. We've got to change the mindset of everyone, our communities, our judiciary, our policymakers, everyone. And when we all get together and we think of it through that lens, then everything's going to get a lot easier to change. And that's what I'm trying to do. In New South Wales and Australia, I've set up the Road Trauma Support Group with some other families that have gone through this hell, who are continuing to go through this hell. And we won't let it go. We won't let it go until we change this mindset.